Alright, so I'm finally back again with this cockbag douchebag with his police interrogation. Unfortunately, the footage is kind of blurry. I mean, there's not really much HD options out there, so I guess this is what we're gonna have to deal with. Before we get into this idiot, I just want to give a little bit of a background, I guess you could say, on where I've been. So this channel is a channel I really do want to support. I want to put a lot of videos out, whether it'll grow exponentially or not exponentially, but grow accordingly with my video uploads or not isn't really my goal. I mean, obviously I'd like to get to a decent size, but I do want to make all these videos from all the guys. I want to do Cody Green, Dustin McFedrich, the old Quap guy, more of these newer Predators too. I want to do the one from his little failed sting as well. What was that one called? He had, what was it, Have a Seat with Chris Hansen? I think he only had like 2 guys he busted on that one, but I want to do them. I want to read chat logs. I do have a lot that I want to do. But there's a lot of reasons why I don't. So that's what, well, not don't, but don't do it more regularly. So I just want to talk about those. So first off, I don't know if you know, but I do have a couple other channels as well. I have my main channel where I basically upload anything. I research things and make videos on that, or else I get like stuff from the store and do openings on that channel, or so I have like a mini podcast. I mean, it's just me talking to myself basically, but still I put that up there. So that's what that is. Another one of my channels is based on the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I've been playing that game forever, so I recently, well, last year, but made a channel dedicated to that one. Oddly enough, I started my main channel last February, so, well, at this time, we'll say February 2020, and I started my Star Wars one probably June, July, somewhere around there, 2020, but I'm pretty sure my Star Wars channel has gotten bigger than my main channel, only because they're always putting out, like, updates, or, you know, something, an article that I can just make a video on, or else there's actual gameplay stuff that I can make a video on, so that one usually keeps me pretty busy. I mean, this week's been pretty slow, but the last month, I've been posting tons of videos on that channel. And then I have a third channel that I started a little over a year ago. That one's like an audiobook channel. Unfortunately, I haven't been going as hard on that one as I would like to as well. I've had that channel active for over a year, and I still haven't read one entire book yet. But anyhow, to a certain extent, that channel takes precedence over this one because, I mean, that one's older. It's been around longer. I'd rather support that one more. So yeah, then it comes down to this. This is like my 4th channel. It's kind of on the back burner, although I don't want it to be, but it just kind of ends up being there. So that's one reason why my uploads are so far in between. The second thing is my phone. So I record and edit and upload videos using my phone. I don't use computer. I don't have internet at home, so I'm sure the computer would be way superior of an option, but unfortunately for me, it is not an option. So, I make my videos on my phone, and for some reason recently my phone is always jam-packed on its memory. I don't know why. I haven't downloaded any new games or apps or anything. It's basically the same apps I've always had on this phone since I got the thing. But yeah, for some reason I went from always having about 35 gigs free down to about 10. So basically it goes, I have to make a video, edit the video and upload the video, then delete them. Then I can make my next one, edit, upload, delete. Like, before, I used to be able to stockpile. I could make, like, 10 videos and just let them sit on my phone and edit them and upload them as I wanted to. But it's not really like that anymore. So, again, when my other 2 channels, especially my main 2, I mean, are busy, it's challenging to, you know, do all that work and then still try to fit in something for this channel. Additionally, these videos end up being a little bit longer, just because, you know, I'm looking at footage, so it depends on A, how long that footage is, and then B, how much stuff I say over it. So, it just ends up being too long, and I don't have that much memory on my phone to hold all that, so this kind of gets put on the back burner. I mean, I'm only doing this for now, today, because, well, I'm kind of caught up on my other channels, and I deleted a couple apps to make some more room, so I think I have the space. As far as it goes, though, overall, like, this channel is something I want to support and grow because I really do like the TCAP community. I liked it ever since TCAP first came out back in the day. I don't think my mom used to watch it, but, like, my mom went to bed early, so to speak. I'm pretty sure Dateline NBC was on at, like, 10. So if my mom went to bed early, then my dad and I used to watch it, and I don't know why we watched it. We just did, and I don't know. I don't know what he thought, if he just put it on because there was nothing else on or what, but I always liked it. Why I liked it, I don't know. Just something about it, but I always looked forward to it. Funny part is I never knew what that show was called, though. I would always just think to myself, hey, is that Dateline show on? And then Dateline would be on, I'd be like, ooh, what do they got? And then it wouldn't be like TCAP, and I'd be like, bah, screw this show. But yeah, anyways, then I came back to it in 2015. I was searching on YouTube, and I was like, what was that show? To Catch something, right? And so I just typed in, like, To Catch, and then Predator showed up, and I was like, yeah, we'll see what that is. And then it was the right show. And so, yeah, and then I saw there was a whole TCAP community around it, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And all the TCAPers are usually funny, and, like, they make good videos, and I don't know. So I thought, well, what the F? I should become a part of this, too. I'm into it just as much as these guys are, if not more. So, but, yeah. So, I think the other thing, though, sort of more recently, that helps me relate to these guys is because I sort of was in a situation where, you know, I had one of these creeps after me, kind of. This is much later in life, so to speak. Like, these guys go after 12-year-olds. They go after real kids. Like, I was, like, 17, 18, 19, and I had a weirdo kind of, like, stalking me. But the thing was, is when I was those ages, I looked young. I didn't really hit puberty until around, like, 18, 19. So, like, I didn't have any facial hair. I was kind of small still. Like, nowadays, I'm about 6 foot, somewhere in that range. Pretty close to it if I'm not 6 feet. And I'm, like, pushing 300 pounds. But during those days, I was, like, I don't know, 5'7", 140. I was little. And so, you know, this creep saw that and just, I don't know, probably thought I was younger than I was, which is what he was into. And, yeah, basically what it was at my job. I was working at a Dunkin' Donuts, and he was one of the regular customers, and, like, he'd always want me to serve him. And at first, I never paid attention to it. I didn't realize that he was a weirdo. He would just look for me, and I'd be like, oh, it's that guy. I'll go handle him. I knew his order anyways because he had me help him all the time. But then over time, I started to realize that he was weird. Like, when he would leave, he would drive by the drive-thru window going, like, literally 1 mile an hour, if not slower. And he would just be staring the whole time, just so that then he could see me. And it wasn't just me, it was me and my brother. My brother worked there as well. And him and I both were kind of in the same situation. We were, like, late bloomers, so to speak. My brother was actually, he was actually husky during those days. He was probably about my height, but about 200 pounds during those days. Nowadays, he's still about my height today, but still 200 pounds, where me, I've shot up to almost 300. Ugh. But anyhow, yeah, but that's what he'd do. Or else if he saw us in public, he'd be so weird. Like, I remember there was times at Walmart, like, especially with my brother. Me, I ended up becoming more aggressive. My brother's always been kind of shy and bashful, so he saw that as a weakness, something that he could prey on. Me, I kind of became unappealing because I'd be too standoffish and call him out. But, like, you know, if you were at Walmart, he'd be down at the other end of the aisle just to stare at you. And then you'd go to the next aisle, boom, there he was, still there. Just there. He wouldn't say hi, wouldn't come down, wouldn't be a normal person. He'd just be standing there like a weirdo. So then a lot of times we would be there, like, with my mom, and we would try to, like, run away and lose them, which was ridiculous that we had to do that in the store. But, or, like, there was one time at Wendy's, I was there with my mom, and, like, same thing. He was there in line before us, ordered, and then he was, like, trying to, I don't know, stare me down. But that's when I kind of called him out. I was like, what are you looking at? What are you always going to stare at me for? You want to say hi, otherwise carry on. And, like, it made him uncomfortable because, you know, he's just trying to be a predator. He's not looking to have anybody say anything. So, like, it was funny because after I said that, he, like, stumbled. He almost tripped and fell, literally. Like, I threw him off with my comment. And, yeah, he basically kind of stopped stalking me after I started calling him out. But, yeah, so the guy was weird. And so that's kind of like, I guess, why I like this stuff too. I mean, when TCAP first came out, we didn't know this weirdo yet, though. So that's the thing. It was like in that spread of when TCAP ended because of the Texas sting, and when Hanson versus Predator came back, that's when this weirdo was out and about in me and my brother's lives, I should say. But yeah, so I think that's also why I like this stuff, because I kind of have why am I stumbling over my words? I can kind of relate to what it's like to be a victim, sort of. I mean, he never did anything to us, because he just wouldn't have that chance. My brother and I weren't stupid enough to allow that. Like, we would never get in his car or anything stupid like that. He just basically stalked us in public when he could, and that was as far as it went. But still, so to see these morons get busted, it's good, because it's like, yeah, F you. Unfortunately, I don't know what that guy's name is, and I don't know where he actually lived, if he was in my state or a state over or what. But that's actually where the name comes from on this channel. This channel is called How You Doing Guy. And why is it How You Doing Guy? Because that's what that weirdo used to always say to us. He'd see us and his thing would always be, and he had a weird voice too. He'd always be like, hey, how are ya? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how are ya? How's it going today? Weird voice, and he had a weird style too. He wore a do-rag. He was a white guy, probably in his upper 50s, lower 60s. White guy, but he always wore a black do-rag. He had this gray, decent length beard, and he wore like track pants all the time, and he would wear a button-down shirt. He had the weirdest style that made no sense, and he had a weird voice, and he had like Jeffrey Dahmer glasses, and I don't remember what he wore for shoes. He probably had something ridiculous on, like flip-flops or something. And he used to drive a small compact car. It was like not a Geo Metro, but like something like that. Just a piece of crap, kind of small. His was silver. And yeah, so anyways, that's why this channel is called How You Doing Guy, because that's what we called him. Every time we saw him, we'd say, oh, How You Doing Guy was in today. Or if say my mom saw him at Walmart, oh, I saw How You Doing Guy at Walmart today. That's what we called him. And like, as far as the picture, so right now I have a stupid H as my profile picture. I have a profile picture when I log into my account, but for some reason YouTube won't show it. I'm assuming it's there, it just isn't showing up on my profile. So I don't know what to do. I guess I'm just gonna be an H for now, because they won't take my picture for some reason. But if I knew what this guy's name was, for one, that's what I would put as my profile name instead of How You Doing Guy. And two, if I knew what this guy's name was, I'm sure he's gotta be on a sex offender registry somewhere. So I could find his face, and that would be my profile picture. But, yeah, I haven't seen this moron in a while. It's been, what year is it now? Almost 2022. It's probably been, yeah, it's easily been over 10 years. I mean, as long as my daughter's lived, I haven't seen him. And she'll be 10 next year. So it's been 10, maybe like 12 years since I last saw him, maybe. So yeah, I don't know where he went. I don't know if he moved. I don't know if he died. I don't know if he got busted for being a weirdo with some kid and he's in jail now. I don't know where he is. Haven't seen him in a long time. It's fine by me though. I'm not missing out on anything. Life is a little bit easier, especially now that I have my own kid. Well, then again, I obviously I can stick up for him. I'm a big guy nowadays. But yeah, so that's kind of my backstory. As far as this video now on Jeff Sokol is gonna go, I don't really know how this is gonna go. First off, I know this is gonna be a multi-part thing, because this intro is just gonna be part 1. I can't keep this as part of the video. How long has this been so far? Probably about 10 minutes. I can't add this into the video. I'm just gonna have to make it its own video. So this will be like part 1. As far as the video itself goes, so this interrogation is 1 hour and 40 minutes long. So I don't know if either A, I'm going to go over all this and just do like parts, like, I don't know, 20-minute segments. And, so what is that? 7 segments I'm going to have? Or no, what is that? 20, 40, 60, 80, 20, 40, 60, 20, 40. So that's 5 segments it would have to be. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. Or we'll just see how it goes, because I have seen this, but it's been maybe like a month or so I'm kind of foggy on it. I think I think it kind of just goes in circles. Like the interviewer keeps saying, "Why were you trying to talk to the kid?" And of course, this dumbass is just like, "What? I don't see the problem in that. It's just trying to talk." And I think that's just how it kind of keeps going. How it kind of keeps going. What did I just say? Sounded like I mixed up all those letters. But yeah, so I don't know. This will either be only 2 parts, this intro and one analysis of this moron's interview, or it'll be a multi-part. I don't know yet. But yeah, so that's it for, I guess, this part 1. Sorry, there wasn't actually any coverage of this douchebag yet. But I'll get to it. If you did listen to me all the way through, though, that's super awesome of you, so thanks for doing that. And yeah, be sure to check back for when I start making fun of this doofus hanging out with cops.